Hi, my name is Ruth Moto. For almost a decade now, I've been doing everything design, from fashion design, furniture design, and now interior design. I'm super excited to bring you on this journey, even as we dive into design conversation with Ruth. We'll look at everything from residential, building, construction, and commercial design. So jump right in. A few years ago, I attended the Global Leadership Summit, and there was a man called Horseshoes who came to talk about how in this particular hotel they had 20 seconds check-in time. It's interesting to note after you have gone to several hotels, like, can you really have 20 seconds check-in time where they're asking for all your details and everything? But he went on to explain how they came about to this 20 seconds. He said one of the principles of the organization was ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. If you are a person of class, how do you want to be treated? And with this, they found the functionality of how this space could work to ensure that the ladies and gentlemen at the reception were serving the ladies and gentlemen who were coming to this hotel. Hello, my name is Ruth Moto, and welcome to Design Conversations with Ruth. Commercial design. In this episode, we're basically looking at your reception area. What does that communicate about the type of brand that you are? There are different types of receptions, and this is also based on the type of industry or sector that you have. You could have a client reception, an administrative reception, you could have an employee reception. So even from the names, you already understand that there are different functions that this reception area is going to have. But then, as an organization, have you taken time to ask yourself, how do people experience us when they come in, right? Have you ever gone to an organization where you can't see anything? First of all, there's no one sitting anywhere. There's no signage. There's no direction to tell you where you're going. Already you feel lost. So how can you prevent your organization from suffering that type of problem? The first thing that an organization needs to do, like we had seen in the previous episode, was what goals do we have for this space? What do we need it to do? So receptions act as different things for different people. A reception is a security buffer, right? If an organization is, let's say it's a large organization, could be 500 plus people, and it has a hierarchy, you just don't want any person walking in anyhow to whichever office. But your reception area could also be a waiting area. When people come in and they have to wait for a particular meeting, maybe they've come in early, what is their experience as they come? Your reception area could also be a small meetings area. It's not every meeting that happens in an organization that requires a large meeting room. Taking it back to Mr. Horseshoes and ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, the main thing that this hotel wanted to communicate was timeliness. Are we a hotel that respects times of people? As organizations, the theme that you want to communicate might be very different. Others, it might be trust. Others, it might be respect. And then others, it might be excellence. So when you look at this, how can you use this theme word and say, let it help us translate into the type of reception that we have? When people walk in, based on the type of colors that are there, will they feel a sense of excellence when they come in, where they say, I've walked into a place and I think people do exceptional and excellent work here? Another thing that you would be looking at would be signage and branding. Do people have the direction of what this organization is about? Would they be able to know, let's say you are a hub, for example, an innovation hub? Would they be able to know that if there is a training that is taking place, immediately they get to the reception area, they can see the direction of where that is? If they're looking at hot desking or places where they need to work, they can easily go to some place. Do they know, like, does this place give them that assurance that they're able to see that? Another thing that we need to look at, which I know most of the times when it comes to designing, is the aesthetic. The aesthetic is basically how nice something looks. But then one of the things that I'm very insistent on is the fact that a space that looks nice but then doesn't work shouldn't exist. First of all, once we have considered everything, the floor plan, the branding and the signage and what this area communicates, then we can look at how can we then put everything together to ensure that the aesthetic of this place fully represents us as a brand. So when we look at reception areas in general, we have looked at what the organization's job is, and that is setting up the goal. Sit and take time and say, who are we? Use your brand strategy. What type of story are we trying to communicate with the different stakeholders that we engage with? And when these different stakeholders come in and meet us at the reception, does our reception area communicate that to us? And then when you engage with an interior designer, they come in to help you with the other flow of things, such as the circulation and the floor plan, the branding and the signage, and everything else around how the aesthetic should sit. With this information that we basically have, we're able to see what the role of the organization is in ensuring that the reception area is communicating what that organization is. And we're also able to see the role of the interior designer and how basically this is co-run, if I can say that. That's a word, eh? Co-run. Yes, but you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm very happy that you joined me on this Design Conversations episode where we looked and explored everything around reception areas. And I hope it gives you an opportunity to go and experience your reception area and ask yourself and your team, does this space really communicate who we are as an organization? And join me next as we look at other aspects of commercial design. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you then.